So Museveni was addressing his son. Unfortunately, they are now speaking to each other in the public.
So you might be wondering, what does he mean that Museveni was addressing his son? This is what he says. This is what Museveni said recently. Listen to what he says.
Don't beat people. Don't beat members of the public. Don't beat even criminals. You are not allowed to beat anybody.
You're not allowed to beat anybody. And now that actually reeks of a completely rotten system. If you have to remind your security organs that they're not supposed to break the law, it says everything about those security agencies in Uganda.
So Museveni has been presiding over torture.
Exactly.
He's the one who creates those groups.
Mm-hmm.
Things have only gone worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because Museveni wants to have his cake and he wants to eat it. He wants to have his son in charge of security. He wants to have Muhoozi Kainerugaba in charge of the country. And then he wants things to be done. They can't. I mean, that's who he is.
You're watching Mordecai Marissa Live Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
And yes, indeed, broadcasting to you from these United States of the Americas. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching me and at whatever time you might enjoy these conversations. I am the aforementioned Mordecai Morissa, and you're welcome to Mordecai Morissa. You guessed that right, live. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Monday to you. Let's do this on a count of 1, 2, and 3. Ba-la-la-la. Oh, yeah. I hope you're having a wonderful time, and I wish you all the best. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to be looking at Ibrahim Semujju Nganda's comments. Now, you might be wondering, hey, Semujju Nganda is calling out Museveni's latest political performance and is asking Ugandans not to fall for it. I'm going to show you shortly here. After President Museveni recently warned security forces against beating and abusing citizens, the exiled former Kira Municipality Member of Parliament Ibrahim Semujju Nganda says Museveni's statement should be viewed with serious skepticism. Absolutely. According to Semujju, Museveni is not suddenly discovering that torture and brutality are wrong, illegal, or immoral. No, he's just trying to save face. I 100% agree. Semujju argues that Museveni is increasingly uncomfortable with the conduct of his own son, Uganda's Command of Defense Forces, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who has launched a new face of evil where he orders the abduction of his and his father's political opponents, get them tortured in a torture dungeon he refers to as basement, and takes photo of them naked and posts them on social media. That is what Museveni is not comfortable with, taking this lawlessness and impunity to another level. So he says Museveni is making those comments, trying to communicate to Muhoozi, hey, what are you doing? But Semujju, if you think that, is entirely accusing Muhoozi Kainerugaba, absolutely not. Is not letting Museveni off the hook either. He reminded Ugandans that Museveni has been at the helm throughout the years of security forces' brutality, lawlessness, and impunity against opposition figures. He even went on to point back to the infamous assault on Bobi Wine when Museveni at the time appeared anything but disturbed by what had happened. I'm going to show you here Museveni gloating. He says, they beat up Bobi Wine really, really well. So now comes the very uncomfortable question. Is the Museveni criminal regime and Museveni himself genuinely putting his foot down against torture? I really doubt. No. Or is he desperately trying to clean up the regime's image after his own son took the politics of abductions and intimidation and torture to a whole new level? Those are the questions we're going to be answering in this conversation. Semujju says Ugandans have seen this movie before, And this time he's calling Museveni's bluff. So that's what I'm going to be showing you here. Semujju Nganda dissecting these remarks, Muhoozi's conduct, and the history of brutality against political opponents, followed by my commentary. So welcome to Mordecai Muhoozi Live once again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right in with Ibrahim Semujju Nganda. Listen here.
So Museveni was addressing his son. Unfortunately, they are now speaking to each other in the public.
So you might be wondering, what does he mean that Museveni was addressing his son? This is what he says. This is what Museveni said recently. Listen to what he says.
Don't beat people. Don't beat members of the public. Don't beat even criminals. You are not allowed to beat anybody.
You're not allowed to beat anybody. And now that actually reeks of a completely rotten system. If you have to remind your security organs that they're not supposed to break the law, it says everything about those security agencies in Uganda. That Museveni has to be like, hey, do not beat people. What? That's public knowledge. You're not supposed to do that. But we cannot buy this crap. And I'm going to go back to Semujju, then I'll let you know why Ugandans are not buying this.
I thought these matters, they can deal with them in their bedroom since the country is run by a family. So one goes public, another one goes to the same public. So Museveni has been presiding over torture.
Exactly.
He's the one who creates those groups.
Mm-hmm. Things
have only gone worse.
Mm-hmm.
That they can abduct a person like Samu, maim him, and everybody who has looked at Samu's body, I don't know even what to say. That you can pick a human being and torture him. That level of cruelty is unseen. And then Museveni comes, because the starting point, Museveni said they are criminals and corrupt people in security. Security run by his son. Why didn't he come to announce that he had sacked his son and assembled a new outfit?
Brilliant. I love that. I mean, if Museveni is going to want to try to sell this image of a caring guy who cares about the security of our nation and the respect of human rights to the Ugandan people, he's got to close the books of Lamentations and open the books of Acts, where he says, you know what? You gloat in the abduction, torturing, and killing of innocent people. I've fired you. There's a barrage of tweets from Muhoozi Kainerugaba where he says, well, we've killed, I am wanting to kill Bobi Wine. I'm going to do this. That's a rhetoric of a psychopath and a sociopath. And if Museveni realizes that, the country is being led by a sociopath and a psychopath, the best thing to do is to actually fire Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Not to make commentary, leave that to Mordecai Muhoozi. I'll do the commentary where I'll be like, hey, it is illegal, immoral, and unethical to order the abduction, torturing, and killing of innocent people. You are president. You have the instruments of power. By a single word, Muhoozi is fired. Leave Lamentations to Mordecai. I'll come here and I'll call out the lawlessness and impunity of you and your criminal thugs. But a president? Fire them. You speak with actions. Because the moment you say, hey, do not torture people, do not beat up people, then that actually confirms that there are people who have tortured and killed people or disappeared them. The president should go beyond rhetoric and be like, okay, I've had my committee or this group investigating these claims, and we found out that, these crimes have been committed by ABC and they've been fired or sent to prison. Period. Don't beat the people. Don't beat the people. What does it do? Doesn't change a thing. So, how about you shut up?
Because Museveni wants to have his cake and he wants to eat it. He wants to have his son in charge of security. He wants to have Muhoozi Kainerugaba in charge of the country. And then he wants things to be done. They can't. I mean, that's who he is.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry for pausing here. Like, it is keeping your meat with a leopard and then complain, oh, where is my meat? Keeping your baby with a lion, or it's like voting for leaving your children in the hands of a full figure only for a few years after to be like, oh, I can't believe my children are so obscene and vulgar. Oh my God, they have no respect for people. What did you expect? Museveni is the face of lawlessness and impunity. Muhoozi Kainerugaba has been committing crimes where he actually broadcasts his criminality. There's no single statement that's going to change him. It's going to take actions. It's going to take Museveni to say, hey, out of that office. Oh, don't they beat the paper? Don't they beat the paper? Nothing.
By being a CDF and by doing the things he's doing, we thank the Almighty that he has revealed who Museveni's son is.
Yep.
So the father wants to come and plead for his son, but his son wants to take full control of the state by doing the things he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, the contradiction here.
Yeah, so
It is unbelievable. I'm going to have to show you here. When Museveni says, do not beat up people, let me take you to a day they beat up his political opponent and what Museveni actually said. Remember this day, ladies and gentlemen, this was shortly after the beating up of Bobi Wine.
The other day, there was
The other day,
a fracas
A
in West
fracas.
Nile, where our young friend Bobi Wine was tried to fight with security people.
isn't it even crazy for this man to think that, Ugandans are people that should be taken for a ride, where he tells lies that, there were 600 security personnel and Bobi Wine was trying to beat all of them. What?
I think they beat him a bit.
Oh,
Fight with security people. I think they beat him a bit.
uh-huh.
And then they came and said, oh, member of parliament was beaten.
Yeah, by then Bobi Wine was member of parliament.
Where I said, okay, let me study how he was beaten. Now, when I studied, I found the man had been beaten properly in the right way.
I found the man had been beaten properly in the right way. He says that with a smirk and smile on his face. What a sociopath. What a sick man. And people laughed. It is so unbelievable where you find monkeys arguing in favor of burning down a forest where they live. It is unbelievable the level of stupidity we have in our country. And I'm not trying to say that people are stupid. I am part of that country as well. How does a man say, you know what? My jackbooted thugs beat up a member of parliament, one of you, and people laugh and clap. What's wrong with us? That's why I said, imagine looking at monkeys who live in forests, happy about this forest being set on fire. That's what you see in Uganda. So Museveni cannot try to pretend, oh, I'm against brutality and torture. No. He's been at the helm. He's presided over these vices for now 40 years. For crying out loud, this man ascended to power by killing people. Yeah, I know that sounds extreme to you, but over 500,000 people died in the Ruwero War. Now, Museveni can want to argue that all of those people were killed by Milton Obote and Tito Okello Lutwa's men, respectively. Absolutely not. Some of them were killed by him. Actually, there's proof where Museveni talks about how he killed people. At one time, I think, was telling a story when he was stopped on a road. There was a roadblock. They were headed to eastern Uganda, and he killed a man. He told that story proudly. So unless, are you trying to tell me that, oh, Museveni was immunized against these same tactics that helped him get to power? There's not going to be a difference. He cannot distance himself from lawlessness and impunity. So that's why Muhoozi was calling out. Ibrahim Semujju was calling out. And now you might be wondering, why is this happening? Museveni said those words. I'm going to explain here. Because Museveni, and I learned this from Ibrahim Semujju Nganda when he was still in Uganda, I think last year. He explained the mindset of Museveni. Museveni is evil smart. I think at one time I saw Dr. Chiza just saying that Museveni is a strategic thinker. How I wish he added the lines in evil, in the committing of evil, in nefarious and selfish ambitions. He's smart in that area. But that's not genuine smartness. It's like talking about a man who is planning to rob you. And be like, oh, this man is really, really smart because he used all evil strategies to rob me of my hard-earned wealth. So Museveni is evil smart. And how has he been able to use this evil smart? He's played and lied to the West and so many other Ugandans that he cares about democratic liberal ideas. And people bought into that lie. Only for who he is, the true Museveni, to be manifested in his son. His son is evil, stupid. This was the description of Ibrahim Semujju Nganda. Samu Museveni was committing all these atrocities but hiding and trying to pretend like he was a Democrat. Whereas Muhoozi Kainerugaba is evil and stupid, where he commits these atrocities, commits these heinous crimes, and broadcasts himself. See, I have killed this person. That's evil and stupid. Now, that doesn't make Museveni smart in any way. It is evil smart. Let me give you an example of what Bobi Wine paints that picture.
Twasooka kulwanyisa ideas Museveni nga yepresentinze nga ategeera ennyo. Era ng'agamba abantu NRM ideology nze nnyina vision nannyonnyola kino nga okay Museveni bino by'olimbidde abantu ebbanga lyonna
Beat him in his own game.
ne mulumbagana.
Yeah, and again, there's some idle people in Uganda where usually I find Museveni has his ideology. Museveni read Franz Fanon. You know, he has those socialist ideas. There's nothing, zero. Museveni ideology is evil, fascism, totalitarianism, dictatorship. There's nothing like positive ideology in Museveni, zero. Consolidation of power by all means necessary. And you can define those ideologies under fascism, totalitarianism, tyranny, and all those evil way of ruling people. There's no, Museveni's ideology believes in this, or he read this book when he was in school. Okay, if he read books of Karl Marx and other people, they usually say Museveni read Franz Fanon. Okay, he never understood a thing, or he forgot everything. Because what ideology do you see Museveni employing every day apart from visiting mayhem onto innocent people, plundering our nation, accusing his failures on Idi Amin Dada, who was president in 71 to 79. But Museveni still blames Idi Amin Dada, who was in power for only 8.5 years. Museveni has been in power for 40 years, but still blames Amin and Obote. When Obote 1 and Obote 2 with Idi Amin Dada, all the time they were in power combined, Museveni has surpassed them, but he still blames them. He's a man that is bankrupt of any ideology. Yeah, when they went into this, Bobi Wine actually was easy to expose him. Oh no, there's no ideology here.
Era ne tumuwangula kakati nasindika mutabani we ye nga ye mutabani we ye bibye si bya kulowooza,
evil, stupid,
ye bibye bya kutemula. Nali sobola ate kuba musiru kugamba nti kati kanwanagane n'abantu abaze n'emmundu n'ebyambe n'ebisi byonna byonna mba nesaddaase era ne maaso ga Katonda ndowooza.
Yeah, that's why he explains why he had to flee Uganda. Now you understand. I love the diagnosis of Ibrahim Semujju Nganda. I don't know if he makes more comments about the same. Let me play this video and see.
In what Museveni is saying, we shouldn't be reading it as a response to Mwenda, but as a response to Muhoozi Kainerugaba. But does that actually mean that even the president himself is not comfortable with how his son is running things thus far?
That's what it means to me. Because Museveni comes to complain against security, that they are torturing people. But that torture is headed by his son. He's the one who abducted Lukwago Elias. And he said he had beaten him, he has urinated, he will not sleep.
I mean, that's sociopathy of, I don't know what level.
His son who abducted Mwanga Chivumbi and took him to a military facility. It is his son who was swearing that these opposition people, I have a list. We have only dealt with some others, we'll deal with them.
Yeah, he said we've killed 22. I want the 23rd to be Bobi Wine. That's psychopath.
So I don't know whether Museveni has become so powerless that he can't call his son to order, or both of them are pretending that he tells him, you go and hit them, me, I will go to the public and be the good person. They are just playing us.
Yeah, I don't think they're playing us. I know for sure. Museveni, maybe actually they're playing us, because if Museveni wanted to end this torture, he would just one statement. He would use the powers of a president to fire all these people. But there's no will in any way whatsoever. How sad, how heartbreaking. Let me know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, down in the comment section. I shall return. There's some commentary I wanted to do about Muhoozi Kainerugaba again with his son, who graduated from Sandhurst. So stick around. Give me that comment. What do you think about all this, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think about what you heard from Ibrahim Semujju Nganda? I love the diagnosis. I think it is right on point. It is Museveni getting frustrated, but there's nothing he can do. Okay? He's presided, he's shown his son. This is how you lead, and now he's complaining about a problem or the ideas his son is manifesting. This is how he's taught him. He's never been a Democrat, he's never been liberal, he's never been a kind, gracious, good human being. No. And of course, you always have people. Oh, Museveni is such a nice person. Guys, have you seen these people? They first present Museveni as this very strategic, smart man who's got this sophisticated security apparatus, a network that knows who is doing what. That's how they present Museveni. And then after they say Museveni is tough, he's a tough guy. Okay, we hear you. Then you start calling out the poor leadership of Museveni and poor service delivery. Now they switch. They be like, actually, Museveni is a good man, but people surrounding him are the ones who are not doing their job. I'm like, but I think you told me he's a tough guy. When does he employ this tough persona? I would think the right time would be firing those people who are getting his name maligned because of their failure to do their jobs, yet he appointed them. And besides that, how is he able to have this sophisticated network of spies that cannot know who is actually not doing the job? There's a contradiction here. But again, these are acolytes, emissaries, simps, stooges, lackeys, and minions whose battering of the bread depends on how much praises and reverence they accord to their dear leader, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. He's a failure. He's going to go down in history as one of the worst, if not the worst, leaders ever, because he had a clean slate. Go read the preamble of our constitution. We realized what was the problem. And we said, you know what? Never again shall we go back to this turmoil. We wrote down a constitution. He betrayed everything. And he had plenty of time to fix all these problems. I wanted to read you the conclusion to where did I put my book. I was going to read you the conclusion from Miriam Matembe's book. But that will be another day. The conclusion she makes. She knows Museveni and Janet Kataha. So let me know what you think down in the comment section, and I'll truly, truly appreciate. All right, see you.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.